Okay, hello. A bit of a rare talking to camera video for this one. This is not the intention of this channel. I actually hate talking to camera like this, but I wanted to share my experience of how I got scammed by who I thought was Garmin. Pro tip, it wasn't Garmin. I won't bury the lead on that one. I think like most people, I don't think that I'm really susceptible to scams, or at least I didn't think I was susceptible to scams. I'm very aware of the dangers of the internet, how many scams there are, how to spot them, and kind of like the warning signs. And also just the idea that if something's too good to be true, it probably is. And I'm usually really, really careful before I spend money, especially the amount of money that this was. However, the issue with this, like the scam itself that I fell for wasn't particularly sophisticated, but the reason that I fell for it was because of me and the mindset that I was in. And essentially, like, the human brain isn't very good at focusing on more than one thing at once, right? Really consciously putting a lot of thought into more than one thing at once, especially when one of the things that you're thinking about is trying to avoid a problem. You get almost blinders of trying to avoid one problem and solve one thing, so it makes you blind to other scams and dangers that may be out there. And I think this is, broadly speaking, I think just as a thing of the human condition, we can only focus on like one fire at a time. Do you know what I mean? And I know that this is a technique that scammers use, right? Is to make you feel like you have to do something quickly, or make you feel like there's something awful going on. We've all heard of the getting told that a family member's in prison and you need to bail them out, or you owe the government millions of pounds, dollars, whatever in taxes, and so you need to get it sorted out. So I know that that's a tactic that they use, but in this case, that didn't come at all from the scammers. And this is what I mean when I say this was not a sophisticated scam. It came internally from me and my own, the situation that I put myself in, and that's why I fell for it. So I think that's enough intro. I will get into what actually happened and how I got scammed. Okay, so I am a runner. I currently wear the Garmin Lily watch. Now, I absolutely love the Garmin Lily, but it is an everyday watch. It's not designed for running. It's very limited in its capabilities. And as I'm training for an ultra trail run, I'm doing a lot of runs which are off-road where you need a map, and I'm doing a lot of runs even when they are on road. They're so long, like once you're running over 20-25 kilometers, trying to remember that route in your head, especially when you're running places you haven't been before, which I often am, is really difficult to do, and it's annoying to have to keep pulling out your phone to make sure you're going the right way, only to discover you're not going the right way. So I really wanted a Garmin watch that had good maps built into it, as well as other running capabilities. Now, I had planned to save up, and it was going to take me quite a while. In fact, to be honest, it would have taken me until way after this race that I've got coming up to be able to get the watch, but I was like, I'll have it for the next one, you know? But then I got a tax refund of £500, which was unexpected, and I was like, perfect, I can use this money to get the watch. So I went onto the Garmin website and found the watch I wanted, which was I've got it written down, the Garmin Fenix 7 Pro Sapphire Solar. This was the watch I decided that I wanted. Now, unfortunately, it came up a little bit more expensive than the amount of money that I had from the tax refund and the bit of money that I had saved. So I started looking around for discount codes. I even looked through Pure Gym, who have discount codes with Garmin, but unfortunately this watch wasn't included on any of them. So it was just out of how much money I had. At this point, I absolutely could have picked a slightly cheaper watch. It wouldn't have had quite as good maps on it, but it would have been within my budget. But I was like, no, I want to find a way to get, I had my heart set on this watch. It's so stupid. This whole thing is ridiculous, but I had my heart set on this watch. But I had the really great idea. I was about to be going on holiday to Brussels, and obviously the UK is no longer in the EU, which means we don't pay tax, or we get a tax refund on high value goods that we buy in the EU and bring back to the UK without using. So I'm like, absolutely genius. That's 20% that I can get back on the price of this watch, brings the price down to something that I can afford. Everyone's happy. It's going to be great. So I have a look online for places that I can buy the watch in Brussels when I'm there in person, and everything will be happy. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anywhere to be able to buy the watch in person, not the specific one I wanted in the colourway I wanted. Again, ridiculous, but I had my heart set. So I had a look online, and from what I could tell, I could order the watch online to get delivered to my hotel, and as long as the website or merchant that I ordered it from had a physical presence in the EU, I could still get the tax refund. Now, I never got to test this out because obviously I got scammed is the whole point. So I don't know if this is 100% true, but from everything, I did as much research as I could, and from everything I read, this seemed to be legit and how it would work. So great, Garmin does have physical stores in Europe. I'll just order it from Garmin directly, get it delivered to the hotel. Again, it's all going to work out great. So I order it from Garmin, put through the order a couple days before I'm due to leave so that it would have time to get to the hotel. Annoyingly, the next day I get an email from Garmin to tell me that the order has been cancelled and the money refunded because it just said check your personal details. Super weird. I had a look through the order and I noticed that I had put the billing name under Becky and like my legal name is Rebecca. That must be the issue, is that I've written in Becky and obviously the card would show my name as Rebecca, the bank would show my name as Rebecca, so I redo the order with the name changed. Next day, I get an email again to say yet again the order has been cancelled, the money has been sent back to my card, please check your details. And I'm like, well, now what could it be? Because everything else I double checked, triple checked the second time and everything was fine. So I think, well, I paid on my American Express, maybe they don't take American Express. For some reason it went through, but it wasn't supposed to. Not a problem. I have the cash. So what I'll do is I will take the pounds cash that I have, change it into euros in my Revolut account and then pay for it in euros using my Revolut debit card. By this point, it's the day before I'm due to leave and I'm starting to get stressed about the fact that the watch may not arrive until after I check out of the hotel, which obviously would be a nut in my head. That's worst case scenario, right? It's now the watch is in Belgium and I'm back in the UK. But I figure there's just enough time. If this one goes through, we're all going to be happy. And by the way, the money had genuinely gone back onto my card all of those times. That was not the scam. We will get to where the scam comes in. So the next day, I'm on the train to Belgium, on the Eurostar, and I get an email again. As we guessed, the money has been sent back to my card and the order has been cancelled. And now I'm just really frustrated because I'm like, there's no information as to why the order is being cancelled. To this day, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I was getting it sent to a hotel. I don't know if it's because I was making the orders from like a UK IP address and getting them sent into Europe. I have no idea. Don't know what the issue was to this day. But now I'm stressed. I'm on the train to Brussels. I'm going to be arriving there shortly. The window of time that I've got for it to get delivered to the hotel is like closing. And I'm drastically, frantically searching through the internet for somewhere else that I can order this stupid watch. And I need to order it now so that it's going to arrive on time. I couldn't use Amazon because because Amazon doesn't have like physical stores. I didn't know if that would put me, I didn't know basically if I could get a tax refund doing it from Amazon because they aren't like a physical vendor. So I was trying to find somewhere else that had physical stores that had this exact watch that I wanted. Again, I wanted this stupid exact watch. Had I just gotten like a black one instead, we wouldn't be in this position, but hey ho, obviously I didn't know this is what the outcome was going to be. So I just want to, because this is the important part of the story, is where my mindset is at this point, right? Is that it's starting to get really stressed about the fact I'm on this train. The Wi-Fi is super spotty. It's going in and out. Obviously, it's a high-speed train in the middle of nowhere. So I don't have consistent internet. I'm trying to find another vendor that I can buy this watch from. I'm stressed that I'm going to run out of time because we're in early afternoon now, and I figure it really needs to be dispatched this day for it to arrive on time. And so I'm like, this order has to happen right now. Like if I'm going to get this watch in this way and not have to wait till I get back to the UK and save up more, this needs to happen right now. Again, don't buy things when your mindset is like this, but this is where the mind was, and we're just going to go with it. I realise, looking back, how stupid this whole thing was. Obviously regret my actions and I see where I've gone wrong, but that's why I want to make the video is because the issue lay with me, right? Back into the story. So I'm on this train, I'm trying to find somewhere else to get it. And as I'm searching, this other Garmin Europe website pops up. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. This is a different Garmin website to the last one. It looks a little bit different, but I don't know, maybe because now I'm physically in the EU, maybe, I don't know, this website is geo-blocked or something, so I couldn't see it before. Now, obviously Garmin hasn't geo-blocked their website. Like, obviously, and in retrospect, Again, this isn't a sophisticated website. It looks scammy. I should have realized immediately. Why would they have two websites? The logic isn't there, right? But I'm just like, great, there's this other website, there's somewhere else I can buy it from. Oh my gosh, how lucky. Stupid. On top of that, the watch is on sale on this website. It's only 493 euros, whereas I had been looking at like 700 and something euros. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing that the watch is on sale here. I wonder why it's not on sale on the main website. Becky, come on. But this is the thought process. All of these thoughts, which are really obvious, just don't come into my mind. So I go through, I do the order on the website. I would use my American Express, but I now have the euros sat in my Revolut account, right? I already earlier changed my pounds into euros to buy the watch. So I'm like, well, I don't want to have to put those euros back into pounds. I'm going to lose money on the... So yes, my brain is turned on enough at this point to have this thought process, but not the scam thought process. But my thought process was, if I change those euros back into pounds, I'm going to lose money on the, like currency exchange back. I might as well just pay for it on my Revolut. So I didn't use my American Express, which would have had purchase protection on. Stupid. I used the Revolut card, which is just a normal debit card. Put through the order, stressing about the Wi-Fi. I'm stressed that it's not going to go through because of the Wi-Fi. Press send, hold my breath, and it goes through. And so for a second, I'm like, yes, I got the order to go through. And then it was like a light bulb went off in my head. The fog cleared, and I'm like, this website seems off. Something seems not right about this website. So I click back on the website, I look at it, I'm like, something's off here. And I'm like, this doesn't feel right. So I Googled the website now that I've put through the order and spent the money, and everything that comes up is like, this is a scam, don't buy off here, it's a scam. And I'm like, ah. And I knew it immediately when I hit submit on that order. Again, it's like the fog cleared, and it's amazing how that, like, when your brain is focused on one danger, and I realized the word danger here is a stupid word to use, but when your mind is so focused on trying to avoid one problem, it's amazing how you can become blind to other problems, and how as soon as that one problem is quote unquote solved, you can become like, you get the clarity again. And I think that's really interesting, and I'm sure there's lots of psychology to go into why this happens. And also it probably says a lot about life and people in general, about extrapolating out, like say that you're stressed about how you're going to pay your rent this month or your mortgage or put food on the table, and that could probably make you susceptible to other things. Like, I think that's really, really interesting. But again, my situation isn't quite as serious as any of those, but I just find it's amazing how as soon as I press submit, how that fog cleared. So yeah, found out it was a scam. That essentially is the end of the story. Now, I did try to claim the money back through Revolut, because they did have a way to signal a payment for like reimbursement with them. I went through that process, and what it seems to be is that because it wasn't fraud, right? Nobody used my card without my permission. I was the one who did the payment. And again, it's not a credit card, so it doesn't have actual payment protection. So yeah, Revolut can't do anything. Absolutely don't blame them. Like, again, this was a me issue, and I'm the one who screwed up here. But yeah, so that's it. That's the end of the story. I lost the 493 euro. It's not coming back. I'm very thankful that A, it was only 493 euro and not the 700 euro that I was trying to spend on the watch. And B, I'm happy that the money wasn't money that I've been like saving up for ages. It kind of feels a bit like easy come, easy go, because I wasn't expecting the tax refund. So I'm not, don't get me wrong, happy about the situation, and I'm not happy that I fell for it, but at least it makes it not feel quite as bad. You know, I haven't lost my life savings. I haven't lost money that I need to get through daily life. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's fine. But it's very, very annoying, and I for sure am going to be more aware when I'm putting pressure on myself to try and like do something quickly, make a purchase quickly, to take that extra second and be like, is this okay? It's the first time I've ever been scammed. It's very humbling. But yeah, that essentially is the point of this, is just to say, like, be careful. Again, the scammers weren't the one who put the pressure on with this. It was me who put the pressure on myself to do it quickly. And because the pressure was coming from me, I didn't see that as a red flag, or that didn't flag up to me that there was an issue. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, be careful online. Be careful when you're spending a lot of money. Don't spend a lot of money in a rush, no matter what the situation is. Yeah, and by the way, on this channel, what I usually do is completely different. I do litter picking videos, and I do slow hang out with me while I repot plants was the last one. You know, sew a skirt, make pasta from scratch, whatever it may be. Primarily litter picking with a little bit of everything else thrown in. So that kind of thing interests you. I mean, you're welcome to hang around. If not, yeah, be safe out there and have a great rest of your day.